Welcome to the Fearfic Podcast. Fearfic is the term for short horror fiction, mostly posted on the web. It includes any and all related subgenres. Join three assholes talking basement goo Slimebeast, inebriated interstellar traveler Abysmii, and irritable ghostly man-horde Dead Palette, as they read all stories horror and internet-related, paragraph by paragraph, and bullshit while they do it. From adolescent revenge fantasies to subtle postmodern narratives about real-life events and everything in between, they read it and critique. You better believe it. Kick it to the cold open, white boy.
So are we ready to go?
Yep.
And, you're not going to spill any more fucking red wine?
Well, all of it's gone, so no, I'm not going to.
If you hear any sucking sounds, it's Abysmii drinking out of his carpet.
Even I'm not going to drink out of this fucking carpet. It's disgusting.
It's wine cut with semen.
You'd think the semen would, even out the red so it'd be less noticeable, but no.
Ugh.
I don't think that's how that works.
I don't know color theory. You're the artist.
Yeah, DP, you're the fucking artist, you
Red
ponce.
wine is definitely more potent than semen, depending in terms of tinting, not in terms of flavor.
There's only one way to solve this. Taste test. Blind taste test in the park this Saturday.
Well, we know that what you eat does affect the taste of your semen.
Sure.
So if you're a fucking wino, does your sperm or I guess your semen get people drunk?
Yes.
Cool.
If humans know.
God damn it. If you only...
Fish, yes.
I'm a hobo and I fuck fish, get 'em drunk. If you only eat semen, is your semen just double semen?
I think you're dead.
Dead palate?
Well, hey. Listen.
Hey.
What am I going to do? Let it go to waste?
Yes, let it go down your waist. Or up your waist, I guess. If you're hanging upside down. I don't know what kinky shit you're into. Batmaning all day.
Batmaning?
Batmaning.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
No, that would require, turning the monitor upside down.
God damn it.
Bruce, I don't see the point of this training. No, listen, Robin. Sometimes you're out here and you're stranded. I once lived off my own semen for a week before I got back to the Batcave.
Yeah. That's not guano all over the cave, Robin.
I like Batman sounding progressively more drunk, but the concept of upside down porn is now intriguing me. Some people think it's funny that you could have porn with subtitles, but upside down porn, it's dude, I don't know, this is upside down. I can't get off on this.
What if you just started a website called UpsideDownPorn.com and you just steal assets from other porn sites, but you just invert them, you flip them?
See, I already did something similar to that for a while, called Pornge, which was just orange porn, and I just put an orange filter over porn. It didn't get as much traction as I wanted. Every once in a while, it would get a little bit of traction, and people would be like, dude, what the fuck? And it's just I like orange porn.
Now, was this before or after 2016?
That was before.
Well, there you go. You missed your prime demographic. Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
Orange men bad.
Yeah, no.
Anyway.
But yeah, so stop. Okay, so we're trying to sit down to record, and Abysmii is just hold on a second, I have something to do, and we just hear glug, 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 and it's just him pouring a bottle of red wine directly onto the carpet.
Right. And he said, this is for all my dead homies, which I don't know what the fuck. What dead homies?
I guess
the ones that fell into that star and they died. It was tragic.
Abysmii in a lowrider spaceship out with his homies in space.
We're fucking tagging a joint, and then we have to run from the cops, but my homies don't put on their space belts, and they fly off into a star.
Yeah.
Oh.
I told them safety first, but
Yeah.
they wouldn't listen.
Well, it's better than pretty much every Alien sequel after Aliens, so better story.
I'm an ardent defender of Alien 3.
You would be.
It's okay. It's
the one they show on TV the most, so I'm
Right.
kind of just sick of it.
It wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't followed by everything else. When it comes to the movies, you lump it in with the things that came after, not the two that came before.
Yeah.
Usually, if you're going to lump movies together. If it was just part of a trilogy, you'd say, yeah, it's probably the weakest of the three, but it's still good.
Speaking of things that came after other things, RPC and Wayward Society.
So,
Nice.
we're going to read another passable RPC and another terrible Wayward Society article.
Ooh.
Just out here with the barbs.
Well, I wanted to like the Wayward Society so much, and that's why I think every time we read something, I'm like, cool, I can't wait to read a survival guide, type thing about cryptids, and we're done with it, and I'm like,
Yeah, kind of like Aliens 3.
Yeah.
So we're going to be reading RPC 310, Registered Phenomena Code 310, Alpha Object Class, Alpha Purple. It's Alpha, and it's purple, and it's an object.
Mm-hmm.
And it's classified as such, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Hazard types: geological hazard, transmutation hazard, immeasurable hazard, emotional hazard, sensory hazard. Containment protocols: all pages of RPC-310 are to be stored in a secure document locker on Site 313. Digitized versions of RPC-310 instances are archived on Authority servers at Site 313. Hard copies are available from the site reference library.
All right. So right now we know that they're pages of something. They're paper. The picture is of some kind of kooky sketch, and it says sketch believed to represent the titular character of RPC-310, recovered from the apartment of Takashi Hirata.
That was a little racist, but okay.
No, it's not racist.
As RPC-310 is a historical archival document, any handling of it must abide by the Department of Historical and Pseudo-Historical Study Archival Collection Management Policy.
Well, they must have a lot on their hands these days.
Pseudo-history. Is that just Snopes?
Listen, it's fake history.
Yeah. I think this is just the Snopes main office. That's where it is.
All I'm saying is 6 million.
Oh my god.
There was no Civil War. It's all made up.
The Civil War was made up to sell more, flags? I don't know. Boy, that actually would be a good scam. You convince a group of people that you're separating, you sell them all the flags and the insignias and everything, and then you just give up.
No, there's just some country out there that actually had the rebel flag, and they were throwing it around as an idea, printed out a bunch, and then the people were just like, I don't like this flag, it's a little too gauche, so they just invented the South of the
South of America.
The South of America.
It's just like, no, they had this flag. It totally means a lot.
Yeah. What does it mean? Well, you see the stars represent the starring role that Ross Geller and
slave
friends.
owners.
Yeah, the starring role of slave owners. What do the bars represent?
Right.
The bars that slaves are kept behind, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
What does the red represent?
It's the blood when I beat them.
Oh,
The
Jesus
slaves, that
Christ.
is.
Abysmii, too far. No.
That's too far.
Yeah, not DP saying, really 6 million? No, that.
No.
Description: RPC 310 is the screenplay for an unreleased 1955 Song of the South, Japanese kaiju film.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. Which RPC are we reading today? Will it be awful? Will it be gay? No, it won't, because that's why they separated from the SCP.
Oh. Titled Garpon, Ruler of Beasts.
Oh.
When read in its original format, RPC 310 generates a wide range of minor and major anomalous effects, depending on which portions of the text are being read.
So it's a kaiju movie script. I thought it was going to be like a sketchbook because they had the drawing up, but whatever. Apparently, I don't know jack shit. RPC 310 is composed of 87 pages of non-anomalous typewriter paper. How do you know? How do you know for sure? How do you know it doesn't just make you just a little bit itchy in your shoes? All writing is done in pen using a variety of mundane ink types. Not
anomalous ink types.
Yeah, not anomalous. No.
Just let's list off those mundane ink types. Just like the different kinds of dust and everything.
All right. Well, let me click on the little 3 next to mundane ink types. It says footnote 3. None of the materials which compose RPC 310 have demonstrated any anomalous properties. Okay. The actual content of the screenplay is non-anomalous in nature. Photographs, photocopies, or even accurate reproductions of the document display no anomalous properties. So far I like this. It's not anomalous at all. Nothing happens.
It gives a wide range of anomalous effects, but not really.
Mm-hmm. The act of reading any line of RPC 310 produces a series of anomalous effects within a 20-kilometer radius of the reader. For any of these effects to trigger, the reader must be physically present in the same room as RPC 310, though the degree of proximity required remains unclear. So you don't know they don't know how close you have to be to the script, but they know that within 20 kilometers something will happen.
So I guess you couldn't make a copy and read it elsewhere to have it happen, is what they're saying.
And there's a footnote that says, during an experiment in 1970, researchers were able to induce RPC 310 anomalies by reading the document through a series of magnifying lenses from the opposite side of an aircraft hangar. Okay. All right.
They just had nothing better to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the criticisms I have of these shared fiction websites, anomalous stuff. They just have this infinite money, infinite funds, infinite experiments to happen, and sometimes it feels a little OP, and it loses me. You never have to work within constraints.
If it was in 1970, they would be able to use like a camera feed, I would think, too, which would be less costly.
Yeah.
For further details of RPC 310 anomalies, see Addendum 2 below. Okay.
It always does feel weird pointing out stuff like what Abysmii just pointed out in reference to a specific story, because it's like, well, this story's doing this, but they all do it, so like, are we going to excuse it? But we shouldn't, because we don't do that stuff. We don't excuse anything for no sleep. We're just like, fucking, you're just like the rest of them.
I just can't get over the idea that you could just have a camera on the script and you could have a little feed to a screen, and you could just walk as far as you wanted, and when it stops working, that's the radius.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the concept of Garpon, ruler of beast. That's a very Japanese title.
That's racist. Mm-hmm. And do we want to describe what's in the picture? Because I'm assuming it'll come up in the story, but
they've had two so far. Yeah, it's kind of like it's got the stripes and tail of a tiger, the feet of
a tiger.
Again, a tiger, but then in the second picture,
and then its head is kind of like shaped like kind of like a tiger, and like it's got the tail of a tiger.
It's got the body of a tiger, the legs of a tiger.
Now the head is incredibly avian with a beak and like crow's eyes, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Crow's feet.
Crow's feet under those eyes.
All right.
So Addendum 1, RPC-310, background. RPC-310 was written by Takashi Harada.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hideo Kojima, a file clerk for Konami Film Studios between the early spring of 1954 and the late fall of 1955. The exact date of production remains unclear, as Harada kept few notes and most of his records were destroyed in the initial discovery of RPC-310's anomalous properties.
Interruption. How much do you guys want to bet that it makes the King of Monsters appear within a 20-kilometer radius, and that's going to be it?
I feel like that's too easy.
I know, that's why I'm asking. What do you think?
I don't know. I really can't see where this is going yet.
Okay.
Maybe it's obvious to you. You tend to predict these things as well.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, what is the most likely thing? And I'm hoping it's not that, is what I'm getting at. But yeah.
It is, I'll save my thoughts.
Okay.
It is also unclear if RPC-310 was started before the production of 1954 film Godzilla by Toho Studios, to which it bears substantial thematic and storyline similarities. No, this is legally distinct.
No, ours is King of Beasts. Yours is King of Monsters.
It's a Godzilla OC.
I don't see how Jeff the Killer and Jane the Killer bear any resemblance whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Harada had little experience writing screenplays, and his attempted submissions of scripts were repeatedly turned down by his supervisors at Toho.
In this one, the Garpon becomes a ninja, and as a ninja, he kicks Godzilla. I mean, not Godzilla in the junk.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna pass, Mr. Harada.
I'm gonna go and make Death Stranding now. Fuck you.
After hour 100 of Death Stranding, Garpon just comes out the ground and eats you.
Yes.
No, after 100 hours of playing Death Stranding, you realized you've wasted 100 hours of your life.
I watched a review of it, and apparently it really is just a shit ton of grinding and then long periods of exposition, which is kind of what I expected.
I've watched a lot of playthrough of it because a streamer that I put on for background noise is going through the entire fucking game.
Oof.
And I will say that maybe I'm wrong because, it's up to interpretation of the viewer or player or whatever. But I will say I think the grinding and the loot aspect of it and the item aspect of it, I think a lot of it is fuck you to grinders and looters.
Really?
It's so much of it and it's so meaningless that it's I don't know if it was anybody but Kojima, I'd be that's, just somebody doing that for no reason. But if it's him, I'm is he literally making people grind and item collect as a big thing to just fuck with you?
I heard it's you have to get your resource management down pretty much exactly perfect before you go out and do your missions, or else it will be a slog. But it's also the more you grind, the better gear you get that helps you better manage your resources. So it's an anti-grinding game with built-in grinding. That's what it sounds like.
The funniest thing to me is that you can build structures and shit, and
right.
Other players will see and be able to use them.
Mm-hmm.
And people can leave likes on them. So
oh god.
My thought is that just on the surface level, or is it basically saying you guys are so fucking stupid that you're gonna leave likes on everything because you're fucking you're tuned to it, you're trained to like everything. But,
well, it's an issue because that's what was happening in Metal Gear Solid V, because they had the same grinding garbage in that, and I knew from the announcement of Death Stranding that I wasn't going to like it, and that anyway.
Oh yeah, it's me.
Anytime you're ready, Abysmii.
Not long after the release of Godzilla in early November, Hirata left Toho, severed most of his family, their limbs off, and social ties, and it is believed that he began obsessively editing and re-editing the screenplay for Garpon. Oh no, or Garpon. He committed suicide.
Is he Chris Chan?
Yes. Yeah.
I love my original character.
It's totally original.
I'm sort of getting from this maybe that there's a question if the studio stole Godzilla from his concept.
Ooh.
They passed on his script, made Godzilla, and so he went off, mad.
He's just, what if it's a big monster and it's kind of like a big lizard and it attacks everything? That's a terrible idea, sir. Get out.
What if
that was really dope. We need to do that. Let's make that movie.
Yeah, but why is it a big monster? It's a metaphor for the fallout of nuclear weapons. That's so high-minded. No one's gonna fucking go for that. Write this down. Write this shit down right now.
Nuclear weapons? Too soon, man. Too soon.
And then Garpon steps on Toho Studios, and they all die. And when they die, they scream, "Oh no, we should have greenlit Garpon." He committed.
And my character comes in, and you hear the soundtrack rising, and the soundtrack goes, "Garpon, leader of the monsters."
He committed suicide by hanging in his apartment in Tokyo in early December of 1955. His body and RPC 310 were not discovered by neighbors until several weeks later. During the subsequent removal of his body, several members of local law enforcement discovered the completed RPC 310 manuscript and read several portions of it. This triggered their wokeness, a variety of anomalous effects that resulted in their deaths, several million yen in property damage, and the destruction of most of the contents of Hirata's apartment. Several million yen, so a couple flower pots were hit over or something.
Yeah. God damn it.
RPC 310 was recovered.
Somebody stepped on a lighter.
Someone knocked over a post. RPC 310 was recovered during cover-up operations by local authority assets. Following interviews with surviving law enforcement personnel who noted that the anomalous events had only occurred when the script was read. I think you're right. I think widespread destruction is because it summons Garpon or some shit.
I wish this would turn out that when you read the script, a gigantic version of the author of the script appears in the city and stomps around, saying, Garpon! Document, RPC 310 Screenplay Summary. The following is a brief... I'm looking at it, it's not brief enough for me. Brief summary of the storyline and premise of RPC 310/Garpon. The contents of the screenplay have been generally acknowledged as somewhat poorly written, with several major plot holes, inconsistent characterization, and, surprisingly for a film written by a Tokyo native, a gross disregard for the geography of the Tokyo Bay Area. Are you just covering up the fact that you don't know the area that you're writing about? Mm-hmm. And the footnote says, nevertheless, staged versions of the screenplay have provided popular with the Site 313 Theatrical Society.
That shouldn't be a thing, because that's dumb.
Yeah, the Theatrical Society of RPC.
This is the thing, is they just... Restraint. Mm-hmm. Restraint is so paramount.
Yeah.
You don't need it when you have an authority that can do whatever about whatever.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to have a gross overuse of resources, make it like negligence or something along those lines. Don't just be like, we also have a theater troupe because it's dumb.
Plus, do we really think that it would be popular to watch a theatrical performance of a Godzilla movie? Essentially, I mean, if it's actually with a really good production and everything, but I'm thinking more like, children's school play level here.
I want to see Garpon, Master of Universe Beasts, on ice.
Garpon, turn off the dark.
Cirque de Garpon.
Oh yeah, Cirque de Garpon.
Yeah. Dr. Sarakawa, a nuclear physicist working for the U.S. Army, prepares the test firing of a superweapon he has invented called the electron inverter on a remote, uninhabited Pacific island called Japan.
The ultimate racism, believing that Japanese people don't exist. Jesus. It's uninhabited. What are you talking about? We're right here. Yeah, nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Just a few bunnies. Gonna nuke the bunnies. A native guide warns him that the island is cursed, said to be the home of the Gojek, an evil monster which fell from the sky long ago, driven by a desire for fame and prestige, and heavily encouraged by the generals who pay him. Sarakawa orders the test to go ahead anyway. The electron inverter fires, destroying much of the island and awakening a gigantic insect, presumably the Gojek, which sinks most of the American fleet. Sarakawa, accompanied by a journalist named Tenma, manages to flee the island in a lifeboat and are picked up by the Japanese Coast Guard weeks later. Sarakawa is convinced that Gojek must be destroyed and vows to build a larger, more powerful electron inverter to do so. Tenma is unconvinced by Sarakawa's plans, but soon becomes involved in investigating a series of strange earthquakes and cave-ins in central Japan. Earthquakes? In Japan?
No way.
In a remote mountain village, he meets Ai, a disabled orphan girl who seemingly supernatural power, who warns him that Sarakawa awakening of the Gojek has disturbed the balance of the world.
Huh.
How much of this is actual fan fiction?
Electron inverter. I'm hung up on that.
That's not an answer, but okay.
No,
Electron. Electron is a. I think isn't that it's a positive? No, it's a negatively charged.
You're thinking of this entirely wrong, because this is written to be bad on purpose.
Right.
The question is it interesting?
Well, I want to know what happens when you reverse the polarity of an electron. Do you just get antimatter? Because they should throw that in there. Like, it just makes antimatter, and it just negates Japan when you fire it.
Abysmii is missing the point, just like he missed the wine to his mouth.
Just like he missed when he fell to Earth and called himself Gojek for a few million years.
This is basically just Scientology.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, for anybody out there watching, put in the comments below, is this an RPC or is this a Godzilla fanfic? Okay, anyway.
Meanwhile, the Gojek makes landfall not far from Tokyo, annihilating the army sent to stop it. In the hills near where Tenma is staying, a second monster awakens. Oh god, yeah, this totally is just fanfic. Which I identifies as Garpon, an ancient half-bird, half-tiger ruler of beasts, which maintains the balance of the world. Caught between two giant monsters, the Japanese resistance crumbles, and all resources are diverted towards Sarakawa's massive now it's a super electron inverter. Tenma
No. You are not paying attention to the in-depth plot of Garpon, ruler of beasts. They had the electron inverter. Build a bigger one. Abysmii again.
I'm really not paying attention because I want to know what happens when you reverse the polarity of an electron.
God damn it.
Tenma and I follow the Garpon. Oh, now it's the Garpon? It shouldn't
Yes.
just be Garpon? Yeah, whatever. Towards Tokyo, and he notices that despite its fearsome appearance and destructive nature, the monster does not deliberately harm humans.
Oh.
One thing that is interesting to note is that Garpon serves the same purpose as Boogie Pop does in the Boogie Pop universe series of light novels, which is that they maintain balance of the world by taking out other monsters.
So
now
they're
that
Captain Planet. Cool. It's Japanese Captain Planet.
Japanese Captain Planet, he's our hero. Gonna take nuclear destruction down to zero? I don't know.
Mizu, Doki
late.
Doki.
Too late, Japanese Captain Planet. Well, fuck.
You assembled all the rings and the bombs just fall.
What would the Japanese rings be? Like nothing racist, but maybe a little bit cliche or stereotypical.
They would be Mizu. Heart would be in Doki Doki instead.
One of the rings would be Baka. What?
One of them's Pocky.
Buggy.
Harajuku. The Garpon and the Gojek clash in central Tokyo, destroying much of the city, and Sarakawa succeeds in using his super electron inverter to harm Garpon. Wait, hoping to turn the weapon on the Gojek next. Okay. I don't know why you wouldn't just go after the one you originally. But it's written to be silly. AI, or I, and Tenma succeed in convincing him that it is not the Garpon or the Gojek that are responsible for this destruction, but him, for upsetting the balance of nature with his weapon. Shaken, Tenma overloads the super electron inverter, using it to immobilize the Gojek, but sacrificing his life in the process. Tenma helps commandeer a military radio, and she puts out a call to all of Japan who are on military radios, telling them that only Garpon can defeat the Gojek and restore balance. The prayers of all of Japan heal Garpon. Yeah, that sounds about right for those movies. Which defeats the Gojek before retreating into a cave it digs beneath Mount Fuji.
Gojek really sounds like a slur.
Well, as Tenma surveys the ruins of Tokyo, I tells him that Japan... So I tells Sarakawa.
Now I'm just imagining some like cute moe girl named I who talks like that.
I's going to school, you see. First day of school. I tells him that Japan will rebuild and that Garpon will always be there to restore balance to the world. Okay.
Wow.
So why did we read all that?
Good question.
I mean, it does build lore, but
does the lore contribute to
right
the anomalous nature of this thing?
Right.
Like, I suppose that they would need to document that regardless, but it's just like that really doesn't add any value. Like, if it's also a synopsis, so if it's just going to be a synopsis and not like the actual screenplay itself, you might as well just say like Gojek arises, Garpon comes to defeat Gojek.
Yeah. You could do the one paragraph like IMDb synopsis as opposed to 3 long ones.
And it turns out that the real monster was mankind all along.
Yeah, that's literally, you could literally say that sentence that you just said semi-ironically. The document shows evidence of heavy editing and numerous passages crossed out and altered. However, nearly all alterations are inconsequential in nature, modifying... Well, yeah. A lot of this is inconsequential, modifying single words without changing the overall meaning of the text. An additional note is presented on the last page in handwriting that is considerably rougher than the rest of the text.
No.
They don't understand. Garpon is real. Don't they see?
It is Christian. Oh no. Addendum 2, sample RPC 310 effects. Here we go. RPC 310 demonstrates different anomalous effects for each line or lines of the screenplay read, with most being so minor or situationally specific as to be undetectable. The following represents some of the more notable effects.
All right, so we're getting a list of effects. It's not just one big thing, so that's good.
Page 4. The ancestors of my people, so this is the lines. The ancestors of my people called it the Gojek. In our tongue, it is the darkness within all. Not an evil thing, but terrible and necessary. Effect. All insect life within the effect radius becomes substantially more active and aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Huh.
Maybe that's just coincidence.
Page 8. Slender Man becomes way more aggressive and his teleports become more frequent. There's aggressive camera shake.
Markiplier can be heard screaming. Page 8. Sarakawa. It works! It works! My fame is assured! Now all will know the name Nobuto Sarakawa.
Suck it, Toho.
Yeah. Effect. All conscious humans within the effect radius possessing a formal scientific education describe intense feelings of pride, bordering on megalomania, and demonstrate a reduced capacity for introspection and empathy for approximately 2 hours.
That could be dangerous.
Page 30, Tenma. What could that girl have meant? The body of a pouncing tiger, the head of a screaming hawk, and she called it Garpon. All conscious humans within the area experience an auditory hallucination resembling a deafeningly loud but unidentifiable animal call.
Here's what I'll say. The description of the plot sounds authentic. Like, it's nothing to it where I'm like, well, that's definitely a fake plot somebody wrote up. If you hit that somewhere as a description of a old kaiju movie, I would believe it was real. The dialogue...
And you would think that the person who wrote the script was like, yeah, I hit it out of the park.
Right. The dialogue, the lines we're reading sound like they could be actual lines of dialogue from an old kaiju movie. There's nothing stupid or bad or wrong about how they're written. They're written, perfectly for, like, movie quotes. So I will say that it is written, well for replicating what it's replicating. The effects, I feel, are like, okay, all right,
yeah,
whatever.
It always goes back to this, especially for the SCP Foundation, but the RPC Authority to a significant degree as well. KIS, keep it simple, stupid, and it gets too complex.
For the briefest moment, I thought you said KYS.
Listen, just gonna put this out there. Everyone kill yourselves.
God damn it.
I mean, everyone will eventually.
Wait,
listen, if we all want to be, together in the afterlife, let's just all hurry it up.
Mm-hmm. All right, so whose turn is it, by the way?
No, it's me.
No, I mean to die.
Oh, yeah, also me.
Okay.
Tenma, what could that have meant? Tenma says.
No.
56, Japanese general. That impenetrable skin, that sonic roar that can crush whole buildings. To think that even the might of our ground self-defense forces and the American army could fall before such a beast. Just what is this, Garpon? Immediate and violent manifestation of between 4 and 8 feline footprints within the area of effect. This is with the area effect, should be within, each 44 meters across and causing a ground impact consistent with an object weighing more than 200,000 tons.
All right.
Okay.
So it's Death Stranding. Page 57. AI. Won't you all please believe that even when God and science have abandoned us, there is still a Garpon? I love that line. That so long as we have Garpon, we have hope. Garpon is the true justice. Everyone, everywhere, please, I beg of you, lend Xenu Garpon your strength. Restore balance and harmony to this world.
Oh, you have to spirit bomb for Garpon.
Yeah. Effect. All conscious personnel involved in group activities or physically present in any social group of more than 2 people describe intense emotions of fear and hope and demonstrate substantially increased cooperativeness and intergroup communications.
Isn't hope the antithesis of fear?
No.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
All right.
Tenma, look there, through the clouds. That's not the Gojek. It's Garpon. The ruler of Beast has returned to save us. Garpon, bless you, Garpon. And then the effect is data expunged.
Which means Garpon appears.
Yeah.
All right.
We have level 4 clearance required.
Hey, everybody, level 4 Clarence here. Go ahead.
Clarence.
Level 4 Clarence. Could we just get like a version of the Bible where Jesus' name is just replaced with Garpon?
It has to be in all caps, though, every time.
No, it's every time it's replaced with Garpon, ruler of beasts.
Yes.
Garpon, ruler of beasts. There's no more wine at the wedding.
He just slams the table and then,
Yeah.
There's wine everywhere. Just like you.
Oh, my God. Is Abysmii
Shit.
Garpon and Purple Guy? Is he purple now that he spilled wine all over his naked body?
I wasn't naked.
Yeah, you were. You were saying before we were recording, you were like, so I was sitting down completely naked with my bottle of red wine.
I think you have me confused with Brandon.
I was there with my box of red wine. And
Whoa. Okay, I'll accept some things. Do not let me in with boxed wine drinkers.
Ooh,
Fucking scumbags.
damn.
It's the understanding of the directorate that the exact effects of certain lines on page 86 of RPC-310 are an open secret among research staff. We feel the need to reiterate the importance of information security in this matter and remind all cleared personnel that just because you have comparable threats to deal with does not mean we should utilize the line in question.
Okay. So
GD-.
don't call Garpon to fight other RPCs.
That entire little blurb there is just so you could link it to other entries and make it shared. That's exactly why I stopped reading SCPs. Read more.
I thought you stopped reading SCPs because you were like, Pride Month, fuck that.
I was like one of the last people to even hear about that.
Pride
Like
Month?
I am with fucking everything. Yeah, like, oh my god.
You're too
Why do
busy
straight
spilling
people
wine
need a
everywhere.
Pride Month? I don't get it. Like, god,
Fuck.
what are they protesting?
All right, so I'm closing that tab. That's gone forever.
Yeah, forever.
It's not
Also,
badly written. It's
I
not
figured
badly
it out.
written.
If you reverse the charge of an electron, it's basically a proton,
Whoa.
which
Whoa.
wouldn't do anything. So,
Abysmii figured out. I like literally 8th
fucking
grade.
sixth grade chemistry or physics. Yeah, physics.
Now, Abysmii, we need to get you on to this mystery of who El Barto is on The Simpsons. You got to figure that out for us.
Maybe.
I don't think we'll ever figure out. I think they edit out all the information in Disney Plus to figure.
God damn, seeing that was so surreal. Just
Disney-
that little ass.
Disney Plus went in and censored El Barto because they thought it might be offensive. Now all the graffiti just says The Bart.
Who's the Bard? I'm right here. Oh, you think they're going to edit out Sideshow Bob?
Yes.
Why would they edit out Sideshow Bob?
Because they're Disney.
I mean, like, do they need a reason to do anything? But
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
I think when there's like that scene that somebody referenced in The Simpsons where there's like a goofy character and he says, sure beats working for Disney, and then he's like put to death or something.
Yeah.
I think they're probably going to edit that and they're going to have something like, well, I'm glad that Disney's, healthcare for employees is good enough to get me into the hospital after this incineration. Just gonna,
Boy, the
loop
media
footage.
monopolies are sure ruining the culture.
God damn it.
Do either of you watch Epic Rap Battles of History?
No, because no. Ugh.
Occasionally.
What are
There's-
you, some sort of box wine drinker?
No, that'd be like a Four Loko drinker. There's a episode of Stan Lee versus
Right. Jim Henson.
Jim Henson, thank you. And at the end of it, Walt Disney just comes in and says, I own everything, and both of you should shut the fuck up.
Right.
And I think they did that right before the crew who makes the show, like, switched from Maker, which was owned by Disney, and then went independent.
Right.
And it's weird that Disney leaves that up, because it straight up just calls them out.
By the way, DP, you should watch at least a few epic rap battles of history, because there's like a dark age of the rap battles where they get super political. And it's like cringy as fuck.
It's so... Oh, God, yeah, I know which one you're talking about, and it is hilarious looking back now.
But yeah,
it's embarrassing for them.
I have watched epic rap battles a couple times. My favorite is probably Superman versus Goku.
Really?
Yeah, do you remember how that one goes, Abysmii?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, it goes something like... And then it goes on from there.
You just posted cringe.
Yeah.
We're going to gain subscribers from that one.
We're going to lose so many subscribers.
It's like typing on a keyboard. At some point you realize you've memorized it, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Do you know when I first heard that
Society.
song?
You know what else is
Wayward
embarrassing?
Society.
Is Wayward Society.
Do you know when I first heard about the Wayward Society?
When?
I
I can't wait until he says the N-word. It's going to be great.
Dear Mr. I'm too good to call or write my fans.
This I don't want to read the Wayward Society.
This one's short.
Okay.
So it'll be okay. Wait. Never mind. No, it's not. Motherfucking hidden bullshit. God damn it.
Hidden bullshit.
This day is awful.
All right.
Okay, we're not reading this.
And after a brief and robust discussion, the boys continued on their quest, against their better judgment, to read all horror and internet fiction at the expense of their sanity.
Wayward Society, Wandering Natives, description. Instances of the aberration appear in form of indigenous people of Western North America in varying ages, genders, and build. They appear to be translucent and colored pale blue/green with light wisp of smoke trailing behind them.
No, that is not what Native Americans look like. This I don't like where this is going.
Observations. You obviously do not know how to paint with all the colors of the wind.
Oh, okay.
Can you paint with all the colors of the peace pipe?
Jesus.
Observations suggest that can you paint with all the colors of the wine? Observations suggest that they move in accordance to the layout of the terrain at the time of their death based on avoidance of most large rocks, any trees old enough to be of their time, and untouched land features. Additionally, the specters will wander erratically at times, suggesting they are avoiding obstacles that were present at the time.
Trees old enough of their time. So,
and you survive to make your time.
I guess there's a bunch of 300-year-old trees plus hanging out.
Do you want me to summarize this for you guys?
Yeah.
Description: ghosts.
Native American ghosts.
Upon entering newer natural features in the environment, they will phase through them, much as expected of a typical ghost. Aside from general exposure to Normans, the specters pose a particular threat to any man-made structure and material. Upon encountering a man-made the structure, the specter will no longer notice and continue to wander as though the terrain has been unchanged since the point of its death. Unlike with newer natural features, however, any particles of man-made material that the aberration phase through or otherwise contact will instantly turn to smoke of an unknown nature. Due to the difficulty of prolonged observation with the impossibility of capturing the aberration, the extent to which human interaction with material causes it to be effectively man-made is relatively unknown.
Holy shit.
This effect...
So, basically, I thought what we had here was like somebody no-clipping through the map, but what we actually have is like a low-key super chill Kool-Aid man. Just busts through the wall, but it just kind of just dissolves.
Oh, yeah.
Bust through the wall, but it just sort of dissolved.
Yeah.
Well, imagine this for me. Just walk with me on this journey. Imagine the Kool-Aid man, but instead of Kool-Aid being inside of him,
God damn
it was red wine, and that's what Abysmii is.
Abysmii is the Kool-Aid man full of red wine.
Just a force of red wine destruction.
A force of drunk nature. Spilling and cursing and bending down to just clean it all up, never being satisfied.
He drops something. He spills something and leans down to clean it up, and more Kool-Aid comes out of his top.
He's a wine kappa, right?
Yes, he is a wine kappa.
Somebody draw that. Every so often we get fan art. I want Abysmii as a wine kappa.
Can we get kappas in the chat?
Yes. Can we get wine in the carpet? Yes.
Can we get wine in the carpet? Kappa in the chat.
Press F for carpet.
Farpet?
Arpit.
All right.
This effect is particularly threatening in urban areas that have been constructed within the wandering radius of a specter, causing numerous known cases of structural damage. The collapse of one grain silo in rural stroking out Washington, and death/dismemberment of 3 campers near Crater Mountain, British Columbia.
Wait a minute. So people are man-made? Well, I guess technically, yeah.
By definition.
Yeah.
This goes back to our discussion about semen.
So, I guess my question is, we'll have to figure this out as we go along here, but if you're building in an area where the Wanderers are, wouldn't it be
they will
like...
come.
Yeah, there you go. Why does it all come back to semen?
My question is, where does this go other than ghosts of Native Americans?
Well, admittedly, it's an interesting feature that they dissolve inorganic material, which would be an easier way than saying non-man-made stuff. It's just inorganic stuff. They sizzle through it. But
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though, is we always read these stories and we come up with cooler concepts along the way, like the Kool-Aid Man, but he's a wine monster. What is a more interesting and intriguing concept? The bullshit idea of Kool-Aid Man wine monster or blue Native American ghosts.
I feel like that's what these sites need to do. They need to don't look for a picture to come up with whatever. Just get a random word generator and just use that and just go crazy with it.
Which you can find at slimebeast.com/random/monster name. But somebody out there also do a drawing of the Knights of the Round Table sitting at the table and all looking surprised as the Holy Grail busts through the wall and goes, "Oh yeah."
Forsooth.
Yeah.
Forsooth.
Forsooth. Oh ye. What?
Oh ye of little faith. Background. The Wanderers first came to the attention of the Society in 2006 following an investigation of the death and dismemberment of 3 campers near Crater Mountain, British Columbia. As a former member of the Bureau, local deputy Jay Blackmore, now Society informant Blackmore, recognized the aberrant nature of the deaths of contacted the Society. Upon taking control of the investigation, a small outfit of warders was sent to assist him in identifying and destroying the aberration. See Encounter Logs 1 through 4. This investigation revealed little on the origin or creation of the specters. However, the aid of a local Aboriginal elder revealed that a ritual to banish the specters can be accomplished if one can acquire the blood of a descendant of the specter in question. Further questioning also revealed that within tribes known to produce such specters, their presence and often identity is typically relatively common knowledge.
The blood of a descendant of the specter in question is almost too gruesome for me to mention. It's like I could see this in a Mary Poppins vignette or something like that.
Hey, there's a weird specter. It's dissolving the beams of the World Trade Center. You know what that's about? Oh, yeah. Uncle Carl. Yeah. He's a joker.
Uncle Carl, yeah, ever since he got fired, he's hated the World Trade Center.
This is a big ask from me, but, like, can I get the blood of one of you people? It's just like, oh, well, we got, Stacy running fluids over here. She's on her period. You could have that.
Stacy running fluids.
Listen,
the Native
Stacy's
American
running fluids. Oh, is that her name? No, she's running fluids. She's on bar duty.
listen.
God damn it.
That was not my best bit of improv, but we're going to go with it.
I disagree. That was great.
Who might I speak with to parlay, to enact peace between your tribe and my people at the fort? You want to talk to Stacy Running Fluid? What? Hi, I'm Stacy Running Fluid. Like, what do you ladies want?
I'm 132nd Cherokee.
Yes. Oh my God! Another perfect thing. A sketch, a comedy sketch about a Native American tribe back when America was discovered, and with them is Stacy, the 1/1000th Cherokee. Just happens to be there. She's like, yeah. Stop disrespecting my people.
Please don't wear a headdress.
Oh my God, those blankets.
If I ever come into, like, I want to be, like, colonial, I think I'm going to name myself Elizabeth Warren. I just like that name a lot.
Yes.
So, like, stop trying to make smallpox blankets a thing, okay? They're never going to be a thing.
God damn it.
But I do like that this is being investigated by local deputy Jay Blackmore. But did you know that Jay Blackmore actually has a partner?
Oh boy.
Jay White Flight.
White Flight. Okay.
Yeah, White Flight and Blackmore go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Common enemies of Red Flag.
All right, so location and population, and it's me? Okay. Location and population. What little we know of the extent of the appearances of the Wanderers suggests that all known instances are isolated to the Ashnola people of British Columbia, Canada, and the Nooksack, never mind, tribe of Washington, United States, the Loose News crew. Reports matching the descriptions of damage caused by the specters suggests that they may have a wider range of appearance than the confirmed... I can't do this because the sentences are too long.
Mm-hmm.
Reports matching the descriptions of damage caused by the specters suggest that they may have a wider range of appearance than the confirmed regions. However, the secretary of most tribes, the secrecy of most tribes, Stacy, the tribe secretary. I'm doing paperwork. I'm filing the taxes.
I need your 1099 like yesterday.
Oh my God. Oh my Native American God, which is nature, I think. The secrecy of most tribes, when questioned about the specters, makes these suspicions difficult to confirm. That was all one sentence. Oof.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Yeah,
That's a problem.
Brevity, people. Brevity.
The brevity people. Native tribe.
I also do love just the idea of just like, like Native Americans, they just know about it.
Yeah, Native Americans know about all this ghost stuff, and they're super haunted.
This feels like an X-Files episode.
You're an X-Files episode.
I was.
You're a cow.
Scully, there appears to be red wine everywhere.
Oh no.
Mulder, don't touch it.
Aliens. What? It could just be like someone who spilled red wine. Yeah, but who would spill this much into this much carpet?
Who's this fucking stupid and clumsy? No normal person. I don't want to believe a human being could be this fucking dumb and clumsy.
God damn it. Mulder, this is really uncharacteristically nasty for you.
Fuck whoever spilled all this red wine. Takes out his gun and just starts shooting.
What's going on in here? Oh fuck, there's so much red wine. Oh God. Oh no.
Mulder's gonna be furious.
We gotta take this carpet and put it out of its misery. They just pull out their guns and start shooting the carpet.
Oh shit.
Hunting or procurement methods. Presently, the only known method of banishment, this aberration, is through a ritual involving the blood of a descendant of the specter.
Yes, we know.
Presently, the only way to take care of this is with the blood of a descendant of the specter. Mm-hmm. So, obscuring the blood of a descendant of her specter is how you take care of this.
Take care of what?
This bears repeating.
Mm-hmm.
To complete the ritual, one must surround the specter in a closed circle of the blood of a living descendant.
Jesus Christ.
God damn it.
At which time the specter will temporarily stop walking and will remain docile. Seeing the specters seem to avoid a completed circle is not already inside. I suggest the methodology to complete this circle is as follows. Study the wandering path of the specter and create a semicircle on a regularly used route. This is describing something that could be interesting in a very boring way.
It's a
you have to capture it in a blood circle. That's pretty metal.
It's a ritual, Pasta.
Well, it's actually, in terms of plot line, I think the ritual is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But they're just like the other ones that we've read have like fun conversational stuff. This is way too SCP of a fucking Wayward article.
It feels
it's all like clinical and repeating
There's so
itself.
much padding too. Yeah.
If this just like hit the notes real quick, they're fucking Native American ghosts. They're blue and wispy. When they run through materials that weren't there when they were alive, it like fucking destroys them. And then you need the blood of a descendant, and you got to capture them in a blood circle.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Blood
and
circle.
we're probably going to read.
Hmm?
And we're probably going to read reports where they do the blood circle ritual, but we've already known about it, so there's no, oh shit, that's what the ritual is? That's kind of what I don't like about these. Again, what I don't like about these types of collaborative projects is it's so clinical and spelled out that most of the time you're kind of just reading the same thing over and over again.
Wait for the specter to enter its the radius and complete the circle before it can exit the radius. And then once it's in the radius, it'll be within the... Extreme caution is to be taken to avoid contact with the specter during this process. Once in a docile state, the smoke of drained sage will cause the specter to take mortal properties, allowing it to be killed by conventional means, which will result in the body of the specter turning entirely into associated smoke and disappearing. This is unnecessary details.
By the way, my family has a long history of working for Associated Smoke.
It's like the Associated Press, but different.
It's a proud company. It's proud traditions.
Ranged weapons are recommended for the banishment of the specter in order to avoid any accidental injury should there be a flaw present in the ritual.
Shoot it. Shoot the smoke monster.
I like the idea where it says dried sage will cause the specter to take on mortal properties. So it's like you create a circle, you trap the wanderer in it, you turn them mortal, and then when they're like, hey, I'm back, you go bang and shoot them right in the fucking face.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh man, I feel a lot better now. Nope, dead. And then they turn into a new specter.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. All right. So, encounter reports. Do we want to read encounter reports?
Kind of don't care.
That's a big mood from me.
Like, it doesn't look like... I don't know. The second one goes into the ritual, I think. Yeah, and then the first
second one is a ritual shit, yeah.
And the first one's just autopsy reports of the 3 dead people at Crater Mountain. And,
My God, their assholes are full of smoke.
And then the Fearfic boys just kinda said fuck it, and didn't read the lower parts of the article.
Alright, so at the bottom of the entire article we have additional notes. Can I just read that really quick?
Yeah.
No special gear is required for the observation or banishment of the Wanderers. Now, what would be cool is if special gear was required and you told us something interesting. The non-hostile nature of the aberration, as well as the impossibility of shielding oneself from contact with it, render all body armor and weapons useless. Face masks are optional, but recommended due to the unknown nature of the smoke they produce. Or, you could dress up, like, just cover yourself in glue and, like, roll around in rocks and grass and shit. That's all natural stuff that's there. And maybe it would not bother you because it's not man-made. I don't know.
Donna ghillie suit.
Yeah, Donna ghillie suit. I dated her in high school. She ghosted me.
So that was Wayward Society. Entry something.
Okay, Wayward Society, let us know in the comments below. What the fuck? What?
I remember Bangfish being a lot better than this.
This has been the Fear Fiction Podcast. Your hosts are Abysmii, Dead Palette, and Slimebeast. Music by Abysmii. Art by C.F. Comer. Voiceover by Atticus Jackson. Edited by Elias the Intern. Subscribe to Fearfic on YouTube to stay up to date on new episodes.
Psst, hey, you. Yeah, you. It's your boy, PCP, coming to you from an undisclosed location that is definitely not the dumpster out back behind Bubba's Shits, where I'm definitely not hiding out from that damn Brampton law dog, avoiding questions in regards to that tragic, heartbreaking accident in which several beloved Fearfic characters tragically lost their lives when they slipped and fell on a pile of bullets of varying calibers from multiple trajectories. Hashtag thoughts and prayers. Hey, you kids, get out of here. Bubba Shits is a respectable family diner. I won't have you entangling your dang conjugals and sullying its good name like a common Walmart. Now, I may not have access to my stock of discount anomalous goods, but I need funds to get to Mexico, where a man can be a man, free from the daily hassles like extradition on several purely bogus charges of premeditated murder. I'm sure I still got what you need somewhere in here, like a red box of boxed red wine remover. Man, what the hell kind of idiot needs something like this? An autographed picture of Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball. Wait, that's just Justin Trudeau. 55-gallon drum of Soliquid. Man, nobody wants this. Jeff Sessions the killer. Don't do it. Man, shut up. Ain't no one trying to hear all that. A bag of previously worn socks from your favorite Fearfic characters. This isn't for sale. Don't you judge me. Let's see. A bunch of mostly filled out 10th sandwich free cards from Chick-fil-A. Man, I didn't know RPC used this dumpster. Oh, man. How did this get in here? This right here is a genuine box of everything that kept the Wayward Society's format unique and exciting and apart from its competitors. You have to want this, right? Right? Oh man, looks like I'm about to be off on another exciting adventure. Maybe next time, I'll have what you need.
Hurry up, Blair. Gotta take this trash off to the space base.
Here comes Abysmii spilling his wine. Why's he gotta do it every damn time? Messy Abysmii, throwing it everywhere. Drinking his wine like he just don't care.
Hey, kids, put down the bottle. Your throat, you shouldn't throttle. We're the Loose News crew, and we're here to blah, blah, blah.
Go to Amazon.com and search for the word Slimebeast. One word. Buy my books.
Buy his book.
Buy my books. Do. Buy my books. Do. Buy my books.
All
Read
proceeds go
books.
to help the RNC.
Yeah, all proceeds go to help the RNC, the ridiculously naked cat man. I don't know.
No, the ridiculously naked cat. That's it.
Ridiculously Naked Cat. Ridiculously Naked Cat, by the way, is the third book in my series. You've heard of those murder stories where it's like the cat who knew too much, or the cat that, walked softly, or whatever the fuck. Mine's just about the cat who was naked. It's like every cat.
Sincerely, it's abandoned by Dusnoid.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Abandoned by Dusnoid, Wankywood, lost VHS tapes. What else counts? What else matters? Nothing?
I love you.
What? Abysmii, this isn't the time.
Post people.
Post people. Yeah.
Post persons.
Post
persons. Yes.
Persons.
It's just the story about mailmen.
Yeah.
Oh man, we ran out of steam on that one. I'm sorry. Do go buy the books though.
Let's start over again. Go to Amazon.com and Google Slimebeast. Wait, fuck. Oh well.
Go to Amazon.com and then launch a complaint about how they're automating away all the jobs.
No, don't buy my books.
But also buy my books.
Yeah.